Old conservative blogger Andrew Breitbart broke the Weiner story, and the media has viciously attacked him for doing so. Mr. Breitbart is the author of the book Righteous Indignation, and he joins us now. All right, who are the worst offenders here?
Well, I would say it starts off with Media Matters. I can't think of any a more grotesque organization in the history of media.
And we have chronicled that over the years, that they are in business and well-funded by George Soros, among others, to basically smear anyone with whom they disagree.
And it's the art of misdirection. They have a unique way to try and confuse people, to try and confuse the situation. But in this particular instance, I have incredibly good sources about what happened when this story broke late Friday night. First of all, I got word, and I haven't told this to anybody, that around 10:30 at night, his people were called at a pub and were told to go to
Weiner's people.
Yeah, to go to the Capitol Hill and to meet and discuss things. The next morning, I got word from sources that their strategy throughout the weekend to stop this from hitting on Tuesday was to make sure to blame Breitbart, to make the story about Breitbart, and then it started to happen. First, it was the Daily Kos attacked and said that Breitbart was the hacker, and that meme lasted for about 3 full days, and it still was. You know.
All right, so let me just. So you break the story on your website, conservative website. All right, Media Matters monitors your website. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they do every day. Yes. They see what you're up to. They see what you have. Then Weiner, he sees what you have. Somebody tips him off. Then they have a meeting. All right, mm-hmm. Let's kill Breitbart. Let's discredit Breitbart. All right.
Yes.
So it's a fairly well-organized deal. Right?
It absolutely does. I mean, this is. Look, when Journalist was exposed, which showed that there were a lot of left-wing organized journalists who were coordinating stories during the 2008 election cycle, they were caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and the media downplayed the severity of the story. Journalist exists in spirit, and MSNBC has a level of coordination with the White House and with
Are they
with
the
Media
nexus,
Matters.
MSNBC, of all of this
100
stuff in the mainstream?
100% they coordinate and put talking points from Media Matters into the mouths of Fareed Zakaria, Lawrence O'Donnell, Rachel Maddow. The coordination is stellar. It's impeccable. If people were to analyze what's going on at the White House in terms of their talking points and what goes on at MSNBC.
The Democratic machine gets their message to MSNBC. Now, of course, it's been Fox News in articles even last week. I've been accused of the Republican. We're the Republican machine. I have to tell the audience,
projection.
I've never I haven't been doing this 15 years. Never heard from a Republican. Never gotten anything from them. But that is the accusation against this network, which I think is patently false. But I'm very interested. The New York Times used to be where all this stuff emanated from, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
No, well, they have so many organs that are working for the same purpose. The Huffington Post was created to become the Drudge Report of the right.
And that succeeded in doing that.
Well, that's
right?
exactly what they wanted to do. And what they want to do is try to make sure that stories don't make their way onto the alternative media outside of the mainstream media. So they fight stories from building up. And this was a case study over the last 2 weeks of them trying to make sure that the story didn't reach this point.
But obviously the story was so explosive, and you had the primary source material, which put it over the top, correct?
Absolutely.
Do you fear for your life? Do you have security? You think they're coming after you?
I don't want to talk about what precautions I take, but I certainly get threats left and right.
Because I get them too, and I know how debilitating that can be.
It's problematic, but I think that the bigger your name is and the more open you are, the more protection you have.
Just be careful. Be very careful. All right, Andrew. Thanks very much. We appreciate you coming in here.
Thank you.